MPC for our ESL, for the ESL department. Not sure, I don't see familiar faces, but if you guys are familiar, know Juliana. She's the one that does the morning hours here at the adult school, and I'm here on Thursday evenings from 5 to 7. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick presentation on MPC and the steps on how to get enrolled and get going in our ESL courses, okay? So just feel free to ask me to slow down, or if you guys have any questions, just let me know. All right, so MPC is a community college, and we have 4 campuses, which we have our Monterey campus, which is our large one, and then we have one in Marina, which is our Marine Education Center. Either get it here, or if you have it from, like, let's say your country, if you're not from here, then you can bring that in, and that can count for certain credits for your GED or high school diploma here. Alright, so the assessment, like I said, it's pretty much just to see what level you're in. So once you have your application submitted and you have your student ID number, we have a calendar that's online. It gives you the different dates available and times on when we'll offer the assessment. You don't need to make an appointment. Just if there's a date that you think you can make it to, as long as you arrive 30 minutes before the time that the assessment starts and you have a picture ID and your student ID number, then you are good to go to take the assessment. Alright, so this is what our ESL sequence looks like for classes. So we offer a total of 6 levels of ESL classes. Level 1, as you can notice, is the only one that consists of 2 classes. Level 1 is very, very basic. So that's why we really encourage to do the assessment. I know a lot of students feel a little intimidated and get scared and nervous and want to just say, I want to start from the beginning, I want to do level 1. Well, we recommend that you do it, because if you do decide to start in level 1 and you register for level 1 classes, and you're in there and you think the class is way too easy, I know this stuff, you know, these students are beginners, and you just kind of feel like you're wasting your time in there, we cannot move you. So if once you start your classes at a level 1, then you are stuck in that sequence. So you will have to complete the entire sequence, versus if you have your assessment results, and let's say your assessment results places you on a level 3 for reading and vocabulary, and you're in that class and you feel it's a little too hard and you're not understanding it, then that's fine. Then we can move you maybe to an easier level and see how you feel there. Versus the other way, we won't. You'll be locked in, and it's pretty much wasting students' time, right? Okay. And then also, I know it's really small, but each level consists of 2 numbers. Oh, it's touchscreen, right? So it consists of 2 numbers. What that means is we offer our ESL courses up until level 4 with units and without units. What this means, without units, is a non-credit class. So the class is free. So we do offer the classes for free. And then the one that has the units, so if you see, it's 4 units versus 0 units. It's the exact same class. You get the exact same certificate at the end of completing the entire program. The only difference is you're paying for the classes, you're paying for the units. That's the only difference. In the 3.5 years that I've worked with MPC and ESL students, the only reason I have seen students actually take the classes with units is when either, 1, your employer is requiring you to take these courses and they are going to pay for them, or 2, you have some type of international, you're here on an international student visa, and you need to have certain number of credits to be able to keep your visa and to be here, then that's when you would have to take the classes with units. Otherwise, we recommend you do them, it's free, the courses are free. You're able to do them up until level 4, and it's the exact same thing. Okay. Alright, so this is just kind of touching back on counseling. So counseling, we do provide different counseling workshops, as well as one-on-one appointments that you can make with them, okay? And then this lastly is just the registration. So the registration of classes is done through what we call WebRich, which is on the MPC webpage. So once you get going and stuff, you can make an appointment to meet with myself or Juliana, and we can kind of walk you through this process. But your Lobos account is what you create once you're a student. You're created your Lobos account with your student email, and this is kind of just to keep in contact with your instructors, get all the assignments that are done, and so on. Okay. That's it. I think one of the biggest things as well is that going back to programs and resources, there's a lot of resources out there that are available for students. I think it's just a matter of asking, and you'll be surprised how much is out there. We have programs that provide you guys with Chromebooks, laptops that you can take home with you for the entire semester. And honestly, you can take them home and have them with you for the entire program. So as long as you're in contact with me and I know that you're taking classes, the computer is yours. And we know that sometimes it's hard with work and life and to be able to make it to classes. So the purpose of having these laptops is so you guys do not miss any work. So you're able to do work from home, you're able to catch up on your homework, you're able to kind of just study on your own, and then also get familiar with the computer. Okay, so along with that, also books and all that stuff, there's resources for everything. So a lot of my students don't pay for books, don't pay for their computers, none of it. So we try to help you guys and get as much resources as you can qualify for. Okay, so that's pretty much it for my presentation. So if you guys have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer. Yes.
May I ask some questions? You say ESL, right? Level 1 to 4 is free, right? And how much does it cost? It's like level 5.
So
It's a resident. Yeah, for the resident.
So as a resident, it's $46 per unit.
Oh,
Yeah. $46 per unit versus if you are an international student or you're not considered a resident of the state of California, so you're out-of-state student, they pay over $300 per unit. So we're looking at 46 per unit to 300. You're looking at just over $3,000 per semester for these students.
Excuse me, how long, for example, five level? It's around year, 1 year? Or?
To complete it?
Yeah, unit.
It just depends. Every person is different because it depends on what level you're starting. Okay, so it depends on one, what level you're starting, two, because there's so many levels, we don't offer all of them every semester. So it could be that there's a semester where we're not offering the class that you need specifically, so then we're missing that semester, right? So outside of our sequence, the 6 levels, we do also offer 3 classes that are for all levels. Okay, so this is for students in level 1 to students in level 6. What these 3 classes are, they're English Skills for Success 1 and 2. So these are courses that kind of focus a little bit on everything, and they're offered every semester, as well as summer. Like this summer, they're going to be offering all 3 of them. And these are designed to pretty much help those students that either 1, missed registration, so they weren't able to register for their classes, or 2, we're not offering the level that you need that semester, so we want to make sure that there's you guys have a choice to take something versus waiting 16 weeks until next semester comes around. Okay, the third one that is for all levels is our pronunciation and spelling. That one's a big one. I think for the most part, we know instructors recommend that students take that one along with all their classes every semester because, pronunciation is a big thing when learning a new language.
Excuse me, if I understand correctly, if we speak about level 1 till level 4, it's free. If we speak about level 5 or 6, we will pay. But unit, it's a measure, it's a part. How many units include 5 level or 6 level?
So if I go back, you can see that on here. Okay, so if you take a look at level 4, which level 4 should still be, so level 5, so it can be anywhere. So a normal class which it doesn't say on here. So this one's 4 units for just one class. Okay, so for the most part, these are 4 units, but then it also varies because if you look at this one here, it's 3 units. So it kind of just depends on the class. For the most part, generally, it's 4 units per class. So if you're, so it would be if you're taking that one class or you're taking 2, it would be the $36 per class for that. Another thing that is also pretty exciting, just this past year, they did pass a new law that is the, SB 68. And basically what this law means for students is that students that don't have any documents or are not residents from here, it allows these students to be able to eventually apply and pay for units at the $46. So as a California resident, okay? Before last year, they weren't allowed to do that. So before last year, it was if you were not a California resident, you had to pay those $300 per unit. Now with this new law, what it is, it's 3 years. Okay, so you need 3 years of education in the state of California or in the United States. So the 2 years, if you have none whatsoever, your 2 years can count in community college with us, with MPC, and even these classes that you're doing now at the adult school. Okay, so it's gonna be the hours that you make. So in those 2 years, I believe it's 400, so it's like maybe 700 hours. I'm not exactly sure, but it's the 2 years have to accumulate to the amount of hours, which is for the most part, the time that it'll take you to do from level 1 to 4, and then also whatever classes you do here at the adult school. After you have completed those 2 years and those 2 hours, then your 3rd year is gonna be to either here at the adult school do your high school diploma or your GED, or if you have your high school diploma or your GED from your country, then you bring it into us and they will read it to see how much of your GED high school diploma is able to be counted towards the units for a high school diploma GED here. Okay, so depending on that, then from there you'll be able to know how much more you have to do to get your GED or high school diploma here, or you can just start fresh and do if you don't even have a high school diploma in your country, then you can just get one here. So it's that year, that 3rd year that you're gonna do your high school diploma or GED here. Let's say a lot of my students finished, they're done, they have their high school diploma, but it didn't take them that year, so they don't have enough hours. Then you're able to enroll in classes here. So I know they have other classes available here that are, what would they be called? Like electives? Like a cooking class or all those other classes. So we would meet together, we'll see where you're at, how many hours you have, and how many more hours you need, and then enroll you in a course so you can complete those hours. Once you have those 3 years and the total hours accumulated, then we help you submit an application with admissions and records, and then that application, once it gets accepted, as long as you have your hours, you are able to submit and take classes as a state of California resident. What that means is you're not going to pay $300 per unit. You will pay the $46 per unit just like every other student, and then also you are able to qualify for financial aid now. Because even if you don't have the documents, remember, like this application is pretty much exempting you, so now you do qualify for financial aid or the possibility to qualify for financial aid. So not only can you take these classes, level 5 and 6, and complete your ESL and get your certificate, and possibly get it all paid for if you qualify for financial aid, but then also, once you're done with this, we want to encourage you guys to do, not so much go to school and become a doctor. You can if you want to, of course, but do like something fast. So get your certificate as a dental assistant, a medical assistant, mechanic, welding. There's so many options in there that you go, you do it, it's fast, you get your certificate, you get your license, and you're ready for a job in an actual career. Okay, so that's kind of the purpose with that new law that we're trying to encourage students and help them achieve to those goals, if not just to finish whatever their goal is.
Does MPC get certificate at the end of ESL class?
Yes, yes, so you do receive a certificate at the end of the completion of the courses.
Okay.
And that's whether you take them without units for free or with units. It's the exact same certificate. Yes.
You're talking only about the ESL classes. For example, I'm thinking taking other classes, let's say nursing classes or nurse classes. For example, if I am undocumented, you help me to get a job with that degree?
So as far as jobs go, I'm not exactly sure in what depth we'd be able to help you. That would definitely be a question for Juliana. So Juliana is also a counselor. I'm not a counselor, I'm just a follow-up coordinator.
Okay.
But yeah, that would definitely be a question for a counselor. Because I know she's been working for a while now with students doing this. So I'm sure she knows it in and out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I saw on the board. What is the last day exactly that we can register? Because on the board said like April to 27, the last day.
For the following semester?
Yes.
Okay, so this semester, spring, is going to end on May 22nd is the last day. So our summer classes, the registration is now open, so you can register for summer now. And summer classes will begin on June 10th. For fall, our registration is going to open as of May 6th, will be open registration for everyone. And classes for fall semester are going to begin on August 16th. And I have a flyer that I'll hand out to you guys. We will be having a registration kickoff event, which will be next week at our Marina Education Center at Marina. I myself will be there, as well as our ESL counselor and other counselors. So you guys are welcome to stop by. You'll have snacks and foods and kind of ask whatever questions. If you haven't applied, submit an application, get everything done while you guys are there. Okay, so I'll pass those out in a minute once we're done. Any other questions? Yes.
What is the total cost for ESL 328 summer 29 19 after all fees for a resident?
Okay, so the 328, 428 classes is pronunciation and spelling. So that one, we offer it free, so you can take it without the units. And the only thing that you're gonna pay for a summer class, I believe it comes out to like $16 for like the fees of the semester. A regular semester, you'll end up paying with the non-credit, so non-unit classes, you pay around $36 per semester, and summer is around $16 for the summer. Okay. And then the only thing after that would be like if you need to get a parking permit, and then the books, which we, for the most part, have resources for that.
For a non-resident?
So it's the same thing. So if you're a non-resident, you can take the class without any units. So the class is free. So you would only pay the $16. Unless you're an international student and you're here with an international student visa, then it would be different.
Excuse me, another question. Have you daycare children in NPC like
Yes.
this? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
there is a child development center available for students at the Monterey campus. As far as the details, I'm not too sure. But once you meet with the counselor, or I think even Juliana has more information on that. But yes, we do have a child development
Yeah.
center.
How much does it cost?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
But it's not free, of course.
Honestly, I'm not too sure how it works.
Only in Monterey.
Montana.
It's only
In
Monterey.
a
Yes,
main
not at
campus.
the marina.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but my understanding is it's available also for students that take the classes without units. So as long as you're a student, then you're able to use it. Yeah.
what does a school year calendar look like?
What, I'm sorry?
What does school year calendar look like?
So our our fiscal year is from August. So your school year would start in the fall semester in August, and it ends right about May, so at the end of spring. So we're just about, actually, I'm sorry, summer, the end of summer. So we're about to end this school year. So if you start taking classes in the fall, then you'll be starting a brand new school year with the college. So yeah, so it would be from fall to summer. So you have fall, spring, summer. That would be your annual school year. Yes.
Is there a maximum age for students?
I'm sorry?
Is there a maximum age for students?
Maximum pay?
Age.
Age? Oh, no. Age. No. Any age. There's no maximum age. All welcome. Yes.
How do I apply for financial aid and when do I get started?
So with financial aid, our financial department, they sometimes have workshops that you can attend, or you can also just drop in their financial aid department. Their coordinators there are really awesome. They help you from the beginning of the application to the very end. I believe at the Monterey campus, you probably, I'm not sure if you have to call and make an appointment, but I would call just to check in. But then also if you're closer to the marina area, we do have a financial aid representative that's at the Marina Center on Wednesdays from 2 to 5. And there you don't need an appointment, it's just drop-in basis.
Like for me, I'm already done some classes at MPC,
Okay.
organizing, and done with everything. Just to apply for the program, still we can apply for the financial aid to be in the program.
To
For the
be,
lesson program.
so for the financial aid, so yeah, so it would be for any program, so it would be just going to financial aid and kind of explaining what your situation is, so like what classes or what program you're trying to get into, and then they'll ask you the questions that they need to ask you in order to filter and see what financial aid you might qualify for, and then give you the applications and help you fill out the applications for that. Mhm.
Does MPC have beauty classes or childcare classes?
Beauty classes, no. I know they have like more along the line of like fashion. Yeah. As far as child development, yes, we do. So we have a really good child development program, which is where we have our child development center, which is like where we they offer child care for students. So the students that are taking courses for child development kind of work within the child development center. Yeah. And the classes are also offered for even any other classes, both at Monterey and at Marina. So we try to offer a variety of classes in both campuses for students that it might be easier to go to Marina if it's closer to home than Monterey.
Another question. I need a certificate of fitness instructor. Have you any programs to I get certificate like a fitness instructor or dance instructor? Because I'm from Russia. In Russia I had my school, but I moved here and I have any documents about my profession. Can I get some classes like a fitness instructor and then you give me certificate?
As far as, because I do know we offer fitness classes and whatnot, but to the extent of knowing if you actually like receive a certificate or if there's like a program where you do,
I want to
Yeah.
learn.
I'm not sure. So that would be a good question for a counselor, because then that's when you would meet with a counselor and kind of explain what your goal is. They'll let you know what we offer and kind of plan out your ed plan as to what you have to take, how long it's going to take to be able to reach your goal.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to ask Juliana.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Her or any counselor at MPC.
Do you have a question?
How many students does MPC accept for per level?
Per level. So it really just depends on the capacity of the classroom. But for the most part, the majority of the classes have a max capacity of, I believe, anywhere from 25 to 32, which they don't normally run that big. So our ESL classes run pretty small, so they're not a large group for the most part. Yes.
The unit is for semester or?
The units? No, so the units are per class. Mhm. So if, once you're done, or if you want to take any other class, so let's say you want to take a dance class or a yoga class, that class is going to be, it's going to be, let's say, from 1 to 2 units, right? So the units is for the class. So if you do that, you want to register, you want to do just that one class, it's 2 units, then as a California resident, then you would pay the $46 per unit for that class.
What about the cooking class at MPC?
So I don't know the exact cooking classes that we offer. I do know that we do have a really good hospitality program where they do, it just depends, because I know they kind of focus on like baking, and then they also have like cooking. And actually, I think Juliana might have pamphlets available in the office where there's specific classes listed for the hospitality cooking classes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to stop by and grab one.
I have another question.
Go.
Okay, how much is for the electricity class? You have, right?
Electricity class?
Or something like that? More mechanic or something like that?
Yes, we do offer classes. As far as how much it is, they all go based on units.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's not, unless the only ones that we have are programs that are through our continuing education, which these programs are not by units, but they're classes where students go, they pay for an amount. So for example, one of our most popular ones is we do have a phlebotomy technician program, which it's at MPC, it's partnered with MPC, but the course is not through units. So the course is about, I want to say a year long. So you pay the amount that the course is, you sign up, you do the class for that year or whatnot. They do the internship, so you do your internship hours, and once you're done and everything, you take your state test to make sure you pass your state test and get your license, and then you're done.
So I need only the GD for the class?
So to start taking classes at MPC, you don't necessarily need to have your GED or high school diploma. It would just depend on what it is that you want to take and what your goal is. So that would be when we meet with a counselor to, kind of let them know what it is that you want to do, what you have in mind, so she can tell you this is your ed plan and this is what you need to do. Yeah, but so for those students that maybe are not considered California residency or don't have documents, then that's when it would be important to do with us the SB 68 to make sure that you complete that and you apply, so you don't have to pay for fees as a non-California resident.
So you get credit, what you say, when you apply for credit, for example, okay? The class is 2,000, okay, and you don't have 2,000, but you get a credit or something like that for pay every month or something like that?
No.
No.
So for a class to be 2,000, that would only be for our continuing education classes. So for our fast track, so like the pharmacy technician program, the phlebotomy technician program, I can't think of any other ones right now. But those are not, so you're not gonna find them on our calendar or on our catalog, because they are not listed as classes with, ENSL 313, it's 2 units, 3 units. No, those are an actual program where it's 2,500 for the entire thing. And that's separate, they're all different. I'm not sure if you have to pay in front or not, but for other regular classes at MPC, it doesn't work that way.
Oh,
So you sign up for the classes. If you're doing, let's say the units, whatever units it is, it'll do your tuition fee, all your fees, and then it'll tell you your total for the semester, right, with the classes you take. So whether you're gonna apply for financial aid, and then financial aid takes care of whatever they're gonna help you with, or the student pays out of pocket. And either way, you don't have to pay for your classes right at that moment. So it's not, we give an opportunity to be able to see what resources are out, if you can receive any help for it, so you don't have to pay out of pocket, but you don't have to pay at registration.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else? These are really good questions. Yes.
You mind if I ask you a little more details about the low income, like real number or something?
So for low income, as
Yeah.
far as, like what resources, or?
For both, because you were talking about like some people can apply because they are like considered low income, but I'm not sure the numbers.
So it's for the low income, so it's not like a specific number. It really depends on the program that we're talking about. So I think when I had mentioned that was when it was the specialized programs. So programs such as EOPS. EOPS is a program that's for students that are low income. I'm not sure how much that is, but with these individualized programs, so if you qualify for EOPS, you work with them to where they give you book vouchers for your classes. They help you do like all your financial aid, as well as if you need any other financial assistance throughout the semester. But there's not like an actual, this is how much money you need to make to qualify for low income services, because it just depends on what program you're applying for.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Another question.
Yes.
What about online campus? Can I take units there or what?
Yeah, so the online classes work the same. So if you see a class that you want to take and it's offered online, I think for the most part, sometimes the online classes are less units, but it still works the same. So it just depends on how many units that class is that you'll have to, it's the same process. So if you sign up for an online class that is, it's 2 units, then you're gonna pay for the $46 as a resident per unit, just like any other class. Yeah, and it just depends on the course as far as how many units it's worth.
If I take online classes, how I pass exam? I need
For the class?
For the class.
Well,
it's online, or I need to go to the.
Well, every instructor is different, so it's up to the instructor of the class. So some instructors do everything online to where, everything is done online through our campus, which is with the whole mobile account thing. But then there's also instructors that meet probably like once a week, for 2 hours a week, or does exams differently. So it really just depends on the class and the instructor. Yes.
If I take online classes, right, and I have to move to another state, do I have to stop or I can continue study at MPC?
When you say move, do you mean like permanently?
Yes.
I hope so. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think it would just depend, because since you're no longer going to be a California resident, and it's a California community college, I think there might be a catch to that. So that would definitely be something for a counselor. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Are fees tax deductible?
Fees tax deductible?
Yeah.
Holy. I'm not sure.
Not sure?
Yeah,
You gotta be, right?
I'm not sure.
Any more questions? Thank you, Daisy.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Let me get that later. you. Nice to meet you. That the new law, the SB 68, is all about. So it's for students that do not have documents or are not residency. This law allows you to, by completing the 3 years of education, so like I said, you can take these with us, the non-credit, and then also the classes you take here are all going to count towards the number of hours. And then after your 2 years, that third year is going to be your high school diploma or GED. Okay, so you do it here. We work with you, make sure you get your hours. Once you're done with all those hours and we submit the application, which we help you, and you qualify, then you can continue to take classes as a California resident. So not only will you not have to pay, so you'll have to pay the $46 per unit, not the $300, but you also qualify for financial aid. Okay, so and it's possible, guys. I have a student that started taking classes with me probably about 3.5 years ago when I first started with MPC. She started from level 1. She was nervous and scared like crazy. And now with the SB 68, we counted her hours. She had her hours. I made her come in here. She did her GED. She got her GED, and now she's actually finishing off the program for a dental assistant. Okay, so this is someone that didn't know any English. She said, my kids are grown. I just want to be able to learn the language so I can be able to communicate at my job. So she wanted to stay at her same job. She worked as housekeeping at a hotel, didn't know any English, and now not only did she not have, so after her application was submitted, she qualified for financial aid. So what her financial aid did, it paid for all her classes. So she was able to finish the sequences. So she took the level 5 and then the level 6. Once she was done with that, she moved on to, because once you're done with all the levels, then you guys are ready to do an English 1A, English at college level. Okay, and she did that, and we offer courses that are English at a college level with assistance. So these classes are specifically for students that English is a second language. So you're able to have that extra support from the instructors and from students, right? So she did that, and then also did the classes that she needed to do for dental assistant. And not only did her financial aid pay for everything, part of her financial aid, she was receiving, I think it was maybe after paying for books and paying for everything that had to do, parking permit, everything for school, she had over $1,000 a semester for her pocket, so she didn't have to work as much. She had that money to support her and her kids and pay rent and pay bills, so she was able to concentrate in school, and she didn't have to work as much, and now she's about to graduate and become a dentist assistant. So it's possible. I know that it might seem far away and you might think I'm crazy, and it's not. My mom doesn't speak English, and I've been begging her for years to learn to speak English, and it's possible. It really is. So, I mean, it's a good opportunity to be able to apply and be able to get help, because otherwise there is no help. It's only the up until level 4 that we could do for free.
And how many years for assistant?
For dental, it just depends. So it just depends on how much classes you're doing per semester. So then that would be when you meet with a counselor and you kind of talk about if you plan on doing full-time school, if you plan on doing part-time, if you want to maybe just start with one class, and then she can tell you, okay, this is what you're taking in fall, this is what you're taking in spring, this is what you're taking here, and if you do these classes, this is when you'll graduate and be done. So they plan it out completely for you. But I believe she did it in about maybe a little over a year.
Any chance of that Olga?
No.
Oh,
Is there?
I have an Olga that was an ESL student and came here for her GED, and I just ran into her right before Easter, and she said, I got an internship at a dental office, and I'm almost
Awesome.
there.
With MPC?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. She probably worked with Juliana.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's possible, guys. It really is possible. Uh-huh.
That MPC helps dance less. Oh my god.
Okay.
Translators or interpreter for to have students.
Not necessarily. Yeah, we don't have like actual translators, but I mean, like as far as me, I'm the coordinator that works with ENSL. So either way, we make sure that make sure that you feel comfortable and you're able to communicate with us, and we'll figure things out. Okay. Anyone else?
What is what? What is the difference on GD and high school diploma?
So the difference, it's worth the same. Okay, so it's not looked at differently. A high school diploma, as far as achieving it at this point, would be a high school diploma is more based on like the credits that you need. So if you, let's say you went to high school and you didn't finish high school, they look at all the credits that you were missing, and then so you do all that work and do all those credits, versus a GED, they prepare you to take a test. So you take the test on the different, I believe, you know how many areas? And that would be a perfect question for here, because they actually do a high school diploma and GED here. But with the GED, you pretty much take the different classes that prepare you for either, I think it's like math, English, history, science, and I'm not sure what else. But they prep you for those areas, and then you go in and you take the test. I'm not sure how many chances you get to take it, but then, you come back, whatever you failed, you redo until you pass the test. So I think a high school diploma might be a little more difficult if you have no credits or haven't done any high school. If you have your high school diploma like in your country, for example, and you have that with you, they can translate it here and then kind of let you know what your options, if it would be beneficial for you to do your high school diploma or GED better. So it really just depends.
High school diploma in English?
Is your question, do they only accept English high school diplomas? Or can you use your high school diploma from your country?
in English.
Oh no, the exam, is it in English? No.
Are you asking about MPC?
No, to do the high school diploma in English. So your high school diploma would be here. So we don't do high school diploma classes, but I'm not sure if they offer it here in Spanish. It would just be in English. I would think just in English, right?
For high school diploma, yes. GED, we have here Spanish GED.
GD
Awesome.
is in Spanish, English. In high school diploma in English.
I think it's just English. I didn't know that GED is available in Spanish too.
Here.
Oh, awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
Pero en high school diploma
No más en inglés.
Pero también está aquí GD aparte.
So, para agarrar su high school diploma en GED, es aquí con la escuela de adultos. So, MPC no tiene nada, no ofrecemos clases para high school diploma o GED, pero parece que sí, para hacer el examen de GED también lo ofrecen en español y las clases en español, pero se me hace que el high school diploma no. Entonces sería una pregunta para aquí, para la oficina de aquí. Las clases sí son aquí.
Pero, ¿qué equivale el high school diploma en México? ¿Preparatoria? ¿Y el GD en México?
¿Está bien español?
¿Viene siendo lo mismo entonces?
La verdad, no sé, eso sería lo que tengan, o si tienen lo que se recibieron, sería nomás traerlo para que a ver si te pueden contar alguna cosa. Yo la verdad no sé mucho porque es de aquí. Ya.
Tráiganos a Sarina. A la asistente de vida.
What is the schedule for the summer?
Summer classes? So this summer, we're going to be offering the 3 classes that are not in the sequence. So I believe, and I can print them out for you guys if you guys need them, but I believe one of them is gonna be offered at the Marina Center in the evening. And then the other 2 classes will be offered at Monterey in the morning. Morning day.
¿Y si hay guardería?
Sí, pero no sé si para la escuela de verano o cómo calificas para el child care. Pues sería preguntar para la consejera.
¿Tiene coste?
I'm not sure. No sé. Ya, sería una
Más
pregunta
o menos de
de-
qué edad se queda en la guardería.
No sé, no. Es que yo estaba en Marina por 3 años, me acabo de mover a una posición acá. Ya, pero I think it's 3. No sé qué es de 3 arriba. Ya.
3 años? ¿Cuánto?
Ya, no sé.
No, que tal tener una de 11,
No,
Desinformación.
tienen que estar en la escuela bien, entonces. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so, do any of you want the flyer for the registration?
Do you want
kickoff?
information?
So this is gonna be for next week, at Marina. So if you guys are interested,